Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the glow, applause and aliveness of those of you who have Sun located within the second house within your natal birth chart, but also for those of you who happen to have the sign of Leo ruling your second house within your natal birth chart as well. However, before we do get started, make sure that you give this video a like if you like it. Also make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to click that little bell icon in order to keep yourself updated with further content from myself. And one more quick thing to mention: if you would like to know more information all about your Sun sign, your Sun house, along with your Leo house and your fifth house within your birth chart, then I have created a Leo season/archetype ebook. So what I am going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today if you would like. Okay, so with all those introductions out of the way, Sun in the second house and Leo ruling the second house individuals, let's do this. Okay, so if you have Sun in the second house or the sign of Leo ruling your second house within your birth chart, then what this suggests is that you're a pretty determined and persistent individual when it comes to matters of finance and materials. And you typically want to obtain wealth and resources with the pride in knowing that you obtained them and that you were able to sustain yourself throughout the process. Now, of course, this is not to say that accumulating wealth and materials comes easy to you. After all, it's also good to look at aspects being made to the Sun along with whichever sign the Sun is in, if it is that you have Sun in the second house. But there still seems to be a self-assurance and a sense of pride that comes along with your very survival, and how you go about ensuring that your survival needs are met and also sustained. And there's also an essence of strength and willpower and heroism that comes along with these things as well, along with much dignity, of course. So for example, you might really enjoy it when others pay you some lovely compliments for that new car that you just bought, or for that really nice outfit that you are wearing. But then you might feel utterly ashamed if or when you can't afford certain items, or you might even put on a brave face during times when you're actually struggling financially. And if at any time you do fall short of money, you most likely won't reach out to others for help or for support, because to you, well, that shows weakness. It's kind of a bruise to your ego, and it shows the inability really of you being able to sustain yourself. In fact, it could very well be suggested that you glow the most whenever you feel like you're really on top of your finances, and that you feel the most alive whenever you're surrounded by the items and materials that you ever so desire. Naturally, however, what can happen rather is the tendency of you attaching yourself too much to your financial status, leading to the likes of greed, gluttony, obsessiveness, jealousy, boastfulness, stubbornness, attention seeking, and so on. So some examples of how these things might play out include you throwing a fit whenever you do not get what you want, so you can act kind of entitled, etc. Or you gaining an unhealthy amount of weight, leading to potential health implications. So this could be due to food, but then again it could also be the overconsumption of caffeine or sugar, also leading to potential health implications. Or this could be you losing friends over materials and money, or you even possibly competing with others over financial success. Or quite possibly this could be you using your material successes as a way to cover up insecurities within yourself, or quite possibly as well, this could even very well be you landing yourself in debt due to overspending and excessive shopping. And if any of these scenarios are to happen, well, you might not feel all that great about yourself, Sun in the second house, Leo ruling the second house individuals. Then again, perhaps for some of you, your stubbornness can just be so strong, and your pride can also be so strong, and your ego, that you cease to realize just how far you go sometimes. Indeed, this Leo pride can be very severe, that it refuses to listen to anybody, even to those that mean you well. On the other hand though, perhaps at times you are more than generous, you know, you're warm, you're good-hearted, you're very thoughtful, you love nothing more than seeing those you love just smile and light up due to your very giving nature. So you might share your clothes with your friends, for example, or you might buy your parents really, really thoughtful gifts, or you might offer to lend a friend some money, buy them food, you know, the bill's on me type of thing. Or you might offer a roof over a brother or a sister's head or a friend's head until they get back on their feet. And so in this respect, you might be very, very good at stabilizing the lives of others. And you're also probably really good at making those that you love feel grounded whenever they're around you. Now, this is not to say that you're either fully like the more negative traits as mentioned previously, nor am I suggesting that you're fully like the more positive traits as mentioned here as well, because it may be that you fluctuate between these traits, just really depending on the situation. So for example, if your generosity, let's say that's abused or it's taken advantage of, you might get kind of really frustrated and annoyed as you withhold the things that you once gave willingly to other people. And when this happens, then sure, maybe other people may view you as greedy and possessive, etc. But to you, it's just like, well, no, I gave so much before and I'm not being respected, I'm not being recognized, so why should I keep giving? This type of thing. Or if you partake in gluttonous types of behaviors, and then you realize, you know what, I kind of have a problem here. I need to be more aware, more conscious of my spending habits or what I'm consuming, etc. So when you maybe are more conscious or made aware of these things, you might then decide, you know what, I'm just going to clear out all these items. I'm going to give these items to my loved ones. As I say, it all really depends on the situation, but whichever way this does play out for you personally, we are noticing how your ego, Sun in the second house, Leo ruling the second house individuals, is very much strongly tied in with all things material and financial. Oh yeah, it can feel like a blow to your ego when someone else gets that item that you had your eyes on for ages. And it can certainly feel like a punch in the stomach when another person finds that job position that you desired with every fibre of your being. Though speaking of job positions, your ego is also tied in with your earning potential, along with your skills and your talents. So for example, you might feel good knowing that there's a level of consistency that comes with your line of work. So having a steady flow of income, or a dependable paycheck month by month, or you might prefer it when there are concrete results happening through the money that you earn. So it's not really enough to be told that you can succeed within a particular area or field. It's more so that you must physically see results. You must physically see the successes that come to fruition. And I suppose being surrounded by materials and items is kind of a way of you seeing the fruits of your labor. Furthermore, it might strongly boost your ego whenever others applaud you for obtaining such physical and tangible results as well. Not to mention the surge of energy and enthusiasm and aliveness that you can get from announcing your job title with such charisma and self-expression. So of course with that, I think it depends on the job itself. So if it's a job that makes you feel good about yourself, then sure, this aliveness may be very much present. So to say with pride that you're an actor, or that you're an air hostess, or that you're a writer, or that you're a podiatrist, whatever the position really, if you know that you worked your ass off to get there, or if it's a position that you strongly really wanted as an individual, or if you know that it's a type of powerful response, so it can get a really powerful response from other people, then you'll most likely just revel in the positive feedback that you receive from others. And let's also not forget that your line of work is a kind of nod to your wealth and to your financial status. So when others hear what you do, they'll be able to put two and two together, I'm sure. Though kind of going back to skills and talents as previously mentioned, and how your ego is wrapped up within these things as well, you might truly enjoy it when your skills and your talents are applauded and approved. Sun in the second house, Leo ruling the second house individuals, especially by those who you hold to a high regard, or by those who are talented or skilled within the same area as you. And perhaps you also come alive whenever you're given the opportunity to showcase or demonstrate your skills or talents with ease towards others. That's not to say though that you don't get nervous, but when you get attention for how good you are at something, your ego is well and truly fueled up. Or whenever others just celebrate the things that you're skilled at or talented at, you radiate and you glow. So if you're performing on a stage and you're dancing, so this is the skill or talent you have, it's to dance, you might thrive on the recognition that you get from the audience, so the applause that you get from that audience, the attention you get from the audience. Or if you're preparing a lovely home-cooked meal for your loved ones, and then cooking seems to be the skill or talent that you have, and then you're complimented for how delicious the food tastes, again, you might thrive on the recognition from those guests. Or if you're telling a story and your intention is just to be funny, you know, maybe you really like making other people laugh, you might thrive on the recognition that you get then from other people laughing at your stories. And if it is that you seek to develop a new particular skill in something, you'll most likely remain steadfast and committed to becoming pretty good if you want to. Naturally, the ways in which you go about doing this can depend again on the sign that the sun is in, if you have sun in the second house, and it can also depend on aspects being made to the sun. But when you set your heart on developing a certain skill, you might make it your personal quest, your personal mission to make it happen. Now, it might be that you earn money through the likes of the creative arts, or through performing, or through storytelling, or it might be that you earn money through leadership types of roles, or through the financial sector even. Or you know what, maybe for some of you, you decide that you want to be your own boss, or maybe you seek to create a particular product or a particular brand. The type of product or brand that has your name on it. Though, even on that note, you might be very creative when it comes to all things finance, and you might also be financially savvy, meaning that you may be very well versed in dealing with the financial landscape. And even if you're not, perhaps this is something that you're striving to become. Though, to be fair, maybe for some of you, you're more concerned with sustainability or with rural development. So you place more of your attention and your focus on being a conscious shopper, conscious spender. You're much more aware of where your money goes and how it impacts others. Or perhaps you just prefer to spend your money on natural resources, etc. Again, it maybe all really depends on you as an individual, depends as well on just the sun, the position of the sun within the chart, but there just still seems to be a certain conscious element here. a conscious element when it comes to the material world, more of a sort of self-awareness when it comes to the material world. And there's also a potentiality of you viewing any children that you have as possessions or as extensions of yourself, suggesting the likes of you maybe sheltering them or being overbearing towards them. Then again, perhaps money comes through children in some way. So this could be either through the children that you physically have or by you working alongside or with children, which you might find to be actually extremely rewarding. And it could very well be suggested that when your children are applauded, you also feel applauded, because after all, they're your children, right? And you helped create them. Though still, it's most likely that you'll just be very generous towards any children that you might go on to have. Sun in the second house, Leo ruling the second house individuals. And essentially here, just overall, we are noticing how much of a giving, thoughtful and generous person you are overall. And in terms of your physical security, you're most likely going to be somebody who feels the most satisfied, the most grounded, the most stabilized whenever your physical survival and security needs are met. So let's just hope that nobody steps on your toes when it comes to these things, or when it comes to your generosity for that matter, because when your physical security is threatened, you can certainly let out a mighty fierce roar. Or whenever you are not recognized or acknowledged for what you do for others, you might just let out this ruthlessness. You know, others may be greeted with a type of ruthlessness from you. So as a way to end this video, I would say be aware of times whenever you use the material world as a way to cover up any potential insecurities, because on one hand you might act all showy and extravagant and flamboyant as a way to display your self-worth to others, whilst inwardly feeling kind of inferior and kind of weak. But then on the other hand, you might act all brave and mighty and loud as you cover up the fact that you just wanted recognition, you just wanted a bit of attention for your personal contribution to things, but it's your damn pride that doesn't want to just come out with it. So perhaps for you, Sun in the second house, Leo ruling the second house individuals, what you're coming to learn is how not to rely way too much on the outside world to validate you. So instead of relying way too heavily on people and things to fuel your ego and then getting stuck in the material rat race, so to speak, try thinking about other things that you have to offer that are of value, such as courage, confidence, your dignity, your values, nobility, warmth, your creativity, and how proactive you can be as a person. But you know, whatever the quality or the trait may be, just try asking yourself if you radiate these things because you want to, or is it that you do so because you desperately seek some sort of applause for doing so. Now, I just want to finish this off by saying it's still good to get applauded for what we do, for what we contribute as people. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be. I'm just simply making you aware of the potentialities of you attaching, clinging far too much to these things. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the glow, applause and aliveness of those of you who have Sun located within the second house in your natal birth chart, but also for those of you who have the sign of Leo ruling your second house within your birth chart as well. Now, if you happen to have any of these placements, then definitely let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section down below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then make sure that you click that subscribe button, and also make sure that you give this video a like, remember, if it is that you liked it. And I will be back with another video very soon. Bye!